Just giving back to Big Brother, just a couple of questions I wanted to ask about that, because obviously during this whole lockdown, a big thing has been The Last Dance with Chicago Bulls.
Yeah.
And obviously you spent 3 weeks with Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, I started on him.
Right.
Do you remember? I was like going, "Don't you fucking tell me to shut up." I'm going to show you that the other day, which is quite a weird thing that I don't know quite why I thought that was going on.
Yeah, I watched the thing, they put the highlights on, didn't they, of your season, or your series. Yeah. I watched that, but yeah, I guess, I remember watching it at the time, not really being aware of much about Dennis Rodman, but kind of, I suppose watching The Last Dance to get an idea of how big they were.
Yeah. Why would he do fucking Big Brother?
I know, yeah.
Really weird. Well, I guess I did it, but...
And there's a bit where you were just sat down, where you all had to do your talents and stuff, and it's just a shot of you when Barrymore's doing his Hitler impression. You're like, what's going on here?
Yeah, I didn't think he really understood that you're not really allowed to do stuff like that.
Yeah. Like now that you'd have no chance, would you?
No. Well, I think when we were young, we were like, I know, like we did like anti-fascist action and all that stuff. We were like, woke before it was called woke.
Right.
So that's like Antifa now, which maybe is a slightly different prospect. But yeah, I remember. I could sort of remember little moments like that. It is really weird because it's a real feeling about being in there. It's a real, I can remember the feeling of it.
What was it like?
I don't know. I like it's like, I don't know. It's just a particular feeling. It's so weird. I honestly can't vocalize it, but it's just like that kind of. I guess there's a weird like constant, like quite low level, just like frantic excitement at the whole time.
Yeah,
which is just a really weird thing to put your body through for like 2 weeks, or 3 weeks. I can't remember how it was. I don't know what it was. No, I don't know. It's just it's a feeling that I've never felt replicated. Like the feeling of just being in there. I've never been able to replicate or it was. I had a really good time. It was really good. I haven't laughed so much. Like really laughed. Pete Burns was so funny.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I remember one. I can't remember his quote now, but on the highlight show, he said something that was quite relevant to today. I can't remember exactly what it was.
He told me that Jimmy Savile was a necrophiliac.
Right.
In there, and I was like, yeah, of course he fucking is. But he was, and he told me that he used to make rings out of dead people's glass eyes and wear them. That he'd fucked corpses, and I was like, yeah, that doesn't sound very. Anyway, apparently that is something that he would do.
Jesus,
it turns out that it was. So he knew all that. He used to hang out with Michael Alig, from Party Monster. Have you seen the documentary Party Monster?
No.
Club Kids and stuff.
Is that on Netflix?
No, I had to find it. It's like if you just type in like Party Monster documentary, watch illegally now or whatever it is.
Right,
it's kind of quite easy to find, and it's like documentary about this guy so he was kind of friends with him, but he's a guy who he started these club nights, and then and they were these like real weird, like they would like do fancy dress, they were quite horror themed and stuff, really cool. It's like a really cool scene, but very like druggy and very like fucked up. And he ended up like killing his drug dealer and chopping him up and stuff. It's a mad documentary, and there's a film about it with Macaulay Culkin. Marilyn Manson's in it, then the film is excellent as well.
Oh, cool! I'll watch that. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's really good.
And just like one last one on it. Like you described, the experience as like going through a war with someone, and that's how you formed that intense bonds with people. Was that kind of the feeling afterwards?
Yeah, I guess without being offensive to people who've gone through actual things and had PTSD, but I think you do have a bit of a kind of PTSD thing afterwards, because it's just quite intense mentally to go through. So I just, same with Pete Burns, like I would see him every now and again and stuff afterwards, and have I had a lot of love for that guy. I think he was a really, really real good one, that guy. And then obviously, like, I mean, I think what probably happened is I just accidentally misunderstood what that feeling was and thought it was I had to marry this woman. So that was, I'm sure that's what it was in retrospect.
Yeah, because I guess 3 weeks in there must be equivalent to what, like a year on the outside or something.
Yeah, and then also like knowing that you're feeling like there's something, and then also we came out and everyone was just like, "Oh my god, you two, how you are mate?" And like, also I had a really shitty manager who just fucking like would do bullshit stuff. Like when I came out, he'd signed some contract for me to be topless on the front cover of the Mirror. I was so uncomfortable with it. Honestly, like.
What did that happen?
I was saying, I really don't want to fucking do this. I feel incredibly uncomfortable. I really don't want to take my clothes off. And he was like, "Oh, you've signed this thing. You have to do it." Like, that's kind of, that's like, isn't that like, I don't know quite what that is, but it feels like.
Yeah, it's like your rights being taken away a little bit there.
Yeah, it's definitely not a cool thing to do to like a 21-year-old kid or whatever it was.
Yeah. And then you went back in 2010. Is that right? Was that a bit of a different experience?
Yeah, that was just, I mean, it was also, I can't really remember that one as well, but, you know, I get that was a little bit of like trying to chase the same high and maybe not really getting it, but
okay.
Fun.
Yeah.
And also, again, it was just like they asked me and I was like, all right, well then, yes, I will. That's it.